Ganz herzlich willkommen zu diesem Video. Ich habe einen unfassbar spannenden Gast, und zwar Brandon Young, einen der größten Amazon-Händler der Welt, über 100 Millionen in seinem Leben schon auf Amazon umgesetzt. Das ist, glaube ich, mal echt eine Hausnummer. Und er gibt uns einen strategischen Einblick in sein Tool DataDive und wie er mit diesem Tool erfolgreich auf Amazon verkauft, welche besonderen Features dieses Tool mit sich bringt. Es ist echt ein geiles Video geworden und ich bitte euch, das einzige für den einen oder anderen ein bisschen blöd, es ist auf Englisch. Brandon ist Amerikaner, dementsprechend läuft das Ganze auf Englisch. Ihr könnt euch gerne einen Untertitel anmachen. Ich wünsche euch ganz viel Spaß, bleibt unbedingt dran, schaut euch das komplett an und setzt das Ganze mal um, denn das, was er hier weitergibt, ist wirklich, wirklich, wirklich wertvoll. Also, viel Spaß mit dem Video. Wenn ihr Fragen habt, gerne unten in die Kommentare.
Nicholas, thank you for having me today. I'm excited to basically go through and analyze this product and see if there's an opportunity for us to identify what the other competitors are doing right and wrong, and if there's an opportunity to optimize the product. I think that at the core of it, DataDive is an SEO tool. We look at data to make better decisions around how to make the product better and take more market share. And there's a early functionality of DataDive that you can use for product analysis or product validation. So you're thinking about doing a product, but then today we can talk about like if we are already selling this product.
Ja.
So the product you've given me is this cast iron pot. And so one of the things that we want to look at is uh, the the other competitors for this niche. Very important that when you use DataDive that you find the best-selling competitors because you want their data. We're always trying to answer the question of how are the current sellers getting their sales. Now, the mistake a lot of the existing software use or that they, a lot of sellers, they get in the mindset of looking at one keyword to make a decision or one search term. They look at one competitor to make a decision. And the reality is most sellers are on multiple keywords, and sometimes the best sellers are not on even all of the keywords. And so we want to take as many best-selling competitors, anyone selling well. So it could be 15 sellers, it could be 5 sellers, but anyone actually making sales, we want to take their data, reverse engineer it, and then when you aggregate it and combine it, that's where you really get an answer as to what the niche looks like. What is the total demand of that niche? Now, there's a couple ways to do this. We can use a functionality in DataDive called the tray. So I can add these competitors to the tray. And once I've added all of the competitors that I want, and let's say I have 8 or 10 competitors, I go look at some subcategories, I look at some different keywords, I can run the niche, and I can actually run the dive. A faster way and a quicker, dirtier way to do it is that you rely on DataDive to potentially go find these competitors with what we call a niche dive. And what DataDive is going to do is it's going to go do that search for you. It's going to go look at different keywords, different subcategories, and it's going to try to find an entire large group of ASINs that it thinks could be related.
Ja.
But it's going to give you a confidence score as to how closely related each of these are that DataDive thinks each of these are. And we call that confidence score a fit score. And so if you sort to start with, the SOP here is that you start by sorting by fit score, and then you take out anyone that is not relevant to your competitor, like to your product. And what's interesting is this brand has 3 different, I see it's all the same brand, right?
Ja.
And then you have a 4th one here.
So
If
they
they
are
are
actually
set,
already pretty much dominating the niche. So maybe should I give you like an ASIN for this same exact niche, but maybe not one of the best sellers, but maybe something in the middle, or we
no,
just
you want to seed the niche dive with the bestseller so
yeah.
that the data dive has the most data to understand what's working and not working. So this works out really well because these are the best sellers, right?
Yeah.
Now, if all of these are separate listings, then you want all of them. If they were all parents and children, then you wouldn't necessarily combine them and need more than one of them because we take all the data from the entire parent and all the children into DataDive. Now, if all of these cast iron, I mean, do you want one in the shape of a bread? Do you consider this the same niche or no?
No, different niche, different audience.
Okay, different audience. So we just sorted through these 15 that it automatically selected. I'm gonna take out anyone that's not making a lot of sales as well. So like this one's only 97 sales. It's relatively low. Now I'm gonna sort by sales to make sure that the fit score was accurate. Sometimes it's not the most accurate, so we want to find any of these best sellers, right, that could be the same thing. And so we see one here. This looks like the same product. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Data Dive missed this one, and as far as a fit score, it had put it a little bit lower. If we had scrolled down a little bit more, we would have seen it.
I think so. Basically, the reason why sometimes it is because this product is there are different use cases for it. So this is not that much into baking bread, but more
Oh, okay, okay,
everything.
that
But
makes
you
sense.
basically can use the product for either way.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I think that we've done all right. We've got all the best sellers of the niche. We got 13 competitors here. We just click dive after we name it. And now Data Dive is going to go reverse engineer or reverse ASIN search all of these competitors for their keywords. And what you have now is what we call a master keyword list. Now, the magic here is that if you envision that each of these competitors might be indexed for thousands of keywords, right? Because this works in any marketplace, and especially in America, you might have thousands of keywords. And we need to sort those keywords to help you because otherwise the manual process of figuring out what keywords matter and don't matter is very tedious. And so we want to save you hours with this process. So what we do is we call it the keyword cloud. And this is the way I want you to visualize the way the tool works so you can really understand. We break the keywords into 4 buckets. The first bucket is going to be the trash can. That's every keyword that none of these sellers are on the first 2 pages. Those keywords are not driving sales for these competitors. They don't matter. The most important bucket is going to be your master keyword list. The master keyword list is this list here. And if we look, it's every keyword that has at least a 30% relevancy and at least 450 searches per month. For this product in the German market, there are 152 keywords by default. And remember, this list is very dirty. We haven't cleaned it up. We call it a dirty list because we have not edited the list at all. But you have 150 keywords and 200 search volume. Now, this list is going to be the list that we want to edit and curate and clean up and bring all of the keywords to this list because this list we're going to use to write the listing. We're going to use this list to go run PPC. We're going to use this list to go track our progress and try to rank. These are the keywords we want to rank for that we can get sales from. Yeah. So this is why we call it the master keyword list. The next bucket is going to be
spending a little more time on that. So really making sure that you only have the relevant keywords in there before you
correct.
Correct.
This is really important that you spend a good amount of time to curate this list. It's very, very important. The next list is going to be the list that we call outliers. Outliers are going to be at least 2,000 searches a month. So a lot of searches, a lot of search volume, but lower relevancy. And the way that we calculate relevancy is that the number of competitors that we chose for the niche, only a few of them are ranked well for it. So the relevancy is the higher the relevancy, the more of these competitors are on the first page. So it makes sense. If we chose the best-selling competitors, if all of them are on the first page, that's a very relevant keyword, right? So just logically speaking, it works the other way too. If only 1 or 2 competitors are on it, low relevancy. But what we find is that sometimes there are keywords in that outliers bucket that are very, very powerful that we should also target. But for the most part, most of the keywords in the outliers are going to be generic keywords. It could be like baking accessories. It could be a branded search, right? And that's why only a couple competitors are ranked well for it. So what we're going to do is, and you can see, and the way I always want to frame this is I want to tell the story and I want the story to make sense. Where are the competitors getting their sales? So this seller, the best seller, Overmont, has almost 2,000 sales a month. And if you look over, the third best seller is only 1,100, and then it drops by half again. So why does this one have 3 times the sales as this one? If we look, they're both considered, this one's only considered strong, but these are considered very strong. And what does that mean? That means that the percentage of search volume that they are ranked for from the master keyword list is very high. At least 80% we consider them very strong. Only 60% we consider them strong. So despite having a worse SEO on this list, this one has more sales. How does that make sense? Well, they also have 19 keywords and 192,000 search volume on the outlier bucket. So let's go look at the outlier bucket. And what we're able to see if we sort is we're able to see very quickly that they've got these other keywords that they are top 10 for that have a lot of search volume. Now, are those keywords that anyone can duplicate? I don't know. I don't speak German.
Yeah.
But
Probably not because it's a little different usage again. Uh,
again, use case.
the use case
Now,
here is more like cooking than baking.
so there you go. So the reason that the other keywords that are more relevant on the main keyword list is because we mostly chose baking competitors, but it's a really similar sized pot potentially. Or the sizes of the pots and the colors. There's 29 variations. And you said before we went on the call that you like variations. I love variations. The reason I love variations is because I treat variations as traffic funnels from different sets of keywords. Those keywords can be very variation specific. So if I launched this pot and I had versions of the pot that were specifically for baking, and then I had versions of the pot that were specifically for cooking, then I can take advantage of these keywords that this one's taking advantage of, and I could take advantage of the baking keywords. Similarly, if there were colors here, I don't know what red is
Rot,
in
ROD. Oh, T,
yeah, but
ROT.
funny enough, oh, that's pampered. Okay, but how do you spell it? Red?
ROT.
A
ROT.
R R O
R,
T
Rot. Yes, T and a T.
O T.
Yes.
So it came up in here. Uh, there were 73 keywords with broad bread.
This is a German word for bread, is Brot. Yes.
Oh, that's why. So maybe red is a bad one to search. There were 47. The last bucket, let me show you here. The last bucket is 47 keywords. This is all the long tail keywords, lower relevancy and under 2,000 searches. So we have, again, um, everything else basically. But you can still find some very good keywords in here that you want to bring over, right? And you can see that this competitor is just crushing all of the bread keywords, right? Clearly more better ranks and more indexing on bread keywords than anybody else, which goes to show you why they're the number one seller and that everybody else is way less, right? So from an SEO standpoint, we can understand the demand of the niche and we can understand why certain sellers are winning, why certain sellers are not winning. But what does that mean for you? So let's pretend, which one was the one you want me to is this yours?
Oh no, we can let's maybe grab one of the little weaker ones. Let's get the Kaisertal. Yeah, over there. This is
This one here.
this one.
So you just hit the pin and you move it over, right? Very simple. And what I like to do is I look two different ways. I'm going to look by search volume and then I'm going to look by relevancy. And when I sort by search volume, I see that again, this one is this looks like a bread keyword.
Yes, yes.
So this bestseller is not doing well for the bread keyword. These are. This one is not doing well for the bread keyword either, it seems like. These three keywords are in the 40s and 60s, page 3 and 4. That's a huge problem if these keywords are relevant, right?
Yeah.
And so what we're able to see is when we start to identify what words are repeated in these phrases that this one is not doing well on, we can start to see a pattern. The repeated words and phrases from this list we call roots. And so if you click on roots, you can see that out of the 152 keywords, you'll see which keywords, like our bread keyword, 31 keywords out of the 152, 24,000 search volume. Now there's going to be different versions of bread. I guess this one as well, right? But you can see that there are repeated phrases and how important those phrases are and the distribution of search volume on those phrases. And when we go back to the master keyword list, this is where the magic happens for trying to optimize. These are the patterns we need to look for what we're doing right and wrong. This one has a lot of holes in the indexing that we could fix. Now, is it because of the way that they wrote their listing? Right? A lot of this looks like it's in English. Um,
No, I think it probably gets translated for you. So it's
oh, okay, okay. Yes, that's right. Oh, let me fix that. There we go. So, are you seeing any patterns here in the words?
we get back to it. I believe that they have a lot of the keywords that are not for bread baking.
Okay.
Are completely or almost completely missing out on them. Even if the part is, I mean, they also made all their listings completely focused on it, right? So I know because I've sold a pretty similar product once. These products are for baking or cooking. But they are missing out on all these keywords. And then I think the first keyword, the most important one, the Brotbackform, get back, I think it's missing in the title.
This one.
Oh yeah, no, it's in the title. Okay, but it's
But if it's only by itself, right?
yeah,
Um, what you put around it matters because Amazon struggles to create links to exact phrases. You get more credit for an exact phrase than you do for a broad
yeah.
phrase. A broad
Really
phrase,
important, by the way. A lot of people do not know that. They just get every words and just use the roots and putting the roots somehow together. But actually,
right?
in the title at least, using phrases is a
No,
really
and that's
important
a
thing.
really, really good lesson for everyone watching and for your students is because the Amazon's algorithm is very mathematical. Now, with the introduction of Cosmo and Rufus, they're trying to give you stronger, we call it ranking juice. They're trying to give you more ranking juice and attribution for keywords based on what the behavior and the audience and the use case, right? The benefits. But the reality is it's still an underlying algorithm. It's still just math. And the way that they have to give you ranking credit for these keywords and for the ability to rank for these keywords is based on match type. So if I were to write the phrase one-to-one exact match, then I will get 100% credit. If I write a plural match, so even just changing to plural, it's only 70%. And this is like roundabout numbers, but a phrase match would be a 50%, and then a broad match would only be 30%. But here's the problem. If I have 30% relevancy and my competitors have 100% relevancy, the only other thing that determines ranking is going to be performance. So they don't need to perform as well as me to rank ahead of me because they've established more relevancy, right? So you need to maximize your relevancy and then let performance let you rank, right? So this is the way that we talk about SEO and doing these campaigns, these ranking campaigns.
One question, Brandon. What are you saying out of your experience? How much, let's say percentage, I mean, no one can tell this for sure and exact, but how important is the performance compared to the SEO?
Oh, it's so performance is the main driver for ranking outside of relevancy. So your click-through rate, your conversion rate, and your revenue are the main drivers.
Yeah.
And because it requires every single action gives you attribution or ranking juice towards thousands of keywords based on match type. It's a spider web because Amazon cannot wait for an action on every keyword to determine where to rank you,
Yeah.
right? And then that's not enough of a data set. You get one click, no sale on one keyword, even if you're getting 50 clicks and sales on other keywords, they'll never know where to rank you. So the way that they've built this complex system of a spider web and attribution is brilliant. It's very similar to what Google did, but this is a little bit more refined.
All right.
Yeah, and so that's why when we talk about Rank Radar and we show the levers there for ranking, we put the ads and we show you the performance versus your competition. So your performance is super important. So the actions I would be taking here for this one is I would continue to clean this list up. I think that they're trying to be a little bit of both things. The outlier search volume, they're not even taking advantage of those other keywords, those generic keywords, right? We see a lot of holes here. And for the most part, Amazon's algorithm also punishes you for repeating keywords. So another thing that most people don't know is that when you started selling was 2017, I started in 2015. And at the time, the Chinese sellers figured out a hack. If they put a keyword more than 3 or 4 or 5 times in a listing, they would actually be able to rank faster, right? There was no negative, it was cumulative.
Yeah.
So they would put the keyword 20 times, and within a week, they would be number one for a keyword. So what Amazon had to do is they had to go in and change the algorithm so that if you have a keyword more than 3 times, it starts to punish your ability to rank. And so people who stuff their listings and repeat the words over and over and over again are actually hurting their ability to rank.
Yeah. That's a good point, actually.
Now, I want to show you some patterns here. What I see is when I see from 32 or 33 to 50, like in that range, I call it the not sure zone. That means that Amazon is not 100% sure that the product is relevant for that keyword. It means that you either wrote too big of a broad or maybe it really isn't relevant. So what is this keyword here?
Bread baking form with a lid.
Okay. So again, they struggle with the bread keywords. Amazon's not sure that this keyword is relevant. What is this keyword?
Actually, the first one I think is a specific name for the product, a different name. So some people might call it like this in the traditional way.
Okay. Now, do you think that they might use this word and they might use this word, but they might not have it together? And so
Yeah.
Amazon is not sure, right? And so if you were to go through this listing, and I can just maybe copy. And these are in the titles of the competitors, but let me put, yeah, it's not in their listing, right? So I don't see it in their listing, this keyword here.
No.
And so that's why Amazon's not sure, right? But I think that maybe this shows up in the reviews. There's another, it looks like down here. And what's interesting is that, yeah, there's something here. Um, the title of reviews will give you indexing power. So that's it's very interesting that this is brought back in and then this is brought back form. I don't know the difference and I'm mispronouncing it terribly, I'm sure. But the
Actually, it's good.
okay.
Yeah, but it's there's definitely a match. So
Yeah, and so
yeah,
that's the issue, right? The this keyword, in order to rank for this keyword, they would need to write this into the listing. So your SEO process is to identify patterns of keywords and
yeah,
prioritize those routes that you're struggling with to go in and make a change to your listing, only one change. So you want to just change, like, if it's a very important route, like this one might be, 10,000 search volume seems like a lot. You might want to change the title. And you would only change the keyword in the title. You wouldn't change the whole title because you're doing a lot of things right. Obviously, this is a bestseller. It's doing really, really well, right? You don't want to jeopardize all of these. So you make one small change. And if you're tracking your organic ranks with Rank Radar, then you can determine whether it was a good change or a bad change. And if it was a bad change, you would know within a day. You'll see some negative movement. You go back to the old one. But you might unlock the ability to rank because ranking is based on history and credit that you accumulate. So it's not a static or a real-time calculation. It is a historical calculation. And remember, I told you that relevancy times your performance is the formula. Basically, what happens is you have money in the bank that you're not taking advantage of. You're multiplying your history, your bank account of your history times less than one because you haven't established a relevancy. As soon as you improve your relevancy to be a higher number, closer to one, you unlock more of that ranking credit. You can improve your rank immediately.
Yeah.
So I've seen hundreds of case studies of people using data dive and identifying an issue with a major root, making one change to the title and immediately impact their ranks to top 10 from second page or not even indexed.
That's great. Actually, I told you we're launching a couple of products at the moment, and I've recognized one of these patterns in within our own listing, one of us, and I think it was a combined search volume of like I think 12,000 or something, which is a lot in the for the niche I'm launching in, and it was always the same root keyword, like one specific word combined, like wrote together was missing out in my entire listing, not in the title, backing keywords, bullet points, never, nowhere. And I changed that, I think yesterday, and already today it was from 101, I think it jumped to like 36 or something. So
Amazing.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you've established that relevancy. Now you need to make sure you're performing better than your competitors. So the SOP that we follow with our own brands, we have hundreds of products as well. And what the SOP is like, I tell my team, you have to fix your conversion rate, step one. Spending money, doing anything doesn't matter if you're not converting.
yeah,
Step two is you fix your indexing like you just did, right? And then step three is go spend more money, drive more actions, right?
exactly. And then look what work, what doesn't work. And
Right.
is it like in your experience, so one idea I had was using the rank radar then is there any way you're using the metric of ranking and improving rankings for your PPC budget and spending? So let's say, for example, you see, okay, one keyword I'm organically, Amazon thinks I'm pretty relevant. I see my conversions are good, and the SQPR I can see I actually do better than all of my competitors. So I might want to spend even more money on that.
Correct. So there's two things. The next thing to look at would be your impression share and your impression rank. The reason that we put your IS and IR, impression rank, impression share, is because if your impression rank is already number one, it means you're already spending more money on ads than everybody else. There's no
Yeah,
more room on that keyword. But we talked about the attribution. So the magic is you go find all the related words that share those roots. Might be 20, 30, 50 keywords throughout the residue, throughout everywhere, and you go target those. And then you bring those impression ranks up. And then that's going to give you more fuel towards that bigger keyword.
that's great. All right, so thank you a lot, man. Pretty valuable information here. And as I told in one of my previous videos, definitely check it out and use it for your own listings. And I can also recommend. I like that a lot, like the ranking juice indexer, where you can see, okay, how much ranking juice and numbers do I have? I mean, obviously, it's not the only number you're gonna look at, and you also need to make sure that what you write actually makes sense and yeah, gives a good kind of taste of marketing. But yeah, thank you a lot for your time, man, and appreciate it. And we'll see.
Nicholas, a pleasure, man. And I'm happy we could go through a product. There are a lot more use cases. The tool is very thorough. So I'm sure we'll do another call soon.
Awesome. Bye bye, Brandon.
Take care.